Also YouTube, NCG here, bringing you a mekk-knight deck profile with Invoked. Now obviously this has been doing quite well over in America. It did quite well at the most recent YCS Atlanta as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you through the deck profile, show you what we've got, and kind of give you explanations as we go. Anyway, we start off with triple mekk-knight blue sky. This is your searcher of the deck. Basically you get to search out as many cards in the same column on your opponent's side of the field, so you get to search out like 2 to 3, especially if they've got like a link monster. All mekk-knights have the same effect that if 2 or more monsters, 2 or more cards are in the same column, you special summon this card from your hand. You can only do that once per turn that way. Triple purple Nightfall. This is your searcher again of the deck as well. So you banish him, you get to search a mekk-knight card, monster, I believe it go in with this one, 9 times out of 10, and then it returns during the standby phase. You then get to special summon the one you've searched, and then of course he would then search monsters and you get to loop around a little bit more as well. We play triple Indigo. Now Indigo moves its column, so it moves any mekk-knight column. It's a quick effect. You target one mekk-knight monster you control, move that target to another of your main monster zones, so it gets to shuffle around, and then obviously that again combos off. So if you open up, let's say you open up blue sky and purple, you normal summon or you special summon purple, banish purple, search out Indigo, then special summon Indigo. Indigo moves its column, and then special summon blue. And then you get to play off a little bit more like that as well, which is quite nice. We then play the 1 yellow and the 1 red. Yellow, you banish a mekk-knight from your graveyard and pop a back row. Red, you banish in the same column. And red, you banish a mekk-knight and pop a monster in the same column. So that's quite cool in that one. We've then got triple Alistar Invoker. Obviously, this is the main card of the Invoked engine. I then play a standard or a nice little hand trap lineup of 2, 2, and 2. Now, Ogre and Valar, especially after YCS Atlanta, obviously the top decks were Pendulum Magicians, so these 4 cards here hurt it a lot more than Ash does, but Ash is still very, very good to hit the more generic cards around, which is why I like a ratio of 2, 2, and 2, and obviously I want to get the lights in the graveyard to get into my mech bar as soon as I possibly can. Now on to the spells. We play triple Scapegoat. Scapegoat gives you a first turn play. Now with mekk-knights, obviously they do operate a lot better going second, just because of the way the mechanic of the deck is. But with Scapegoat you do have a first turn play to be able to set this and then go into like Mrs. Radiant, or go into Scaldy and stuff like that, linking up a lot more further along down the line. We then play triple Magical Meltdown. Obviously this is very, very important. It gets your plays going. You can play Terraformings if you want, but instead of Terraformings, I'm playing 2 Mind Control. So that's just an option I'm trialing out in this deck, just to kind of see, after using your opponent's kind of monsters in their columns to flood your board, and then link up and stuff like that, and kind of get rid of the mekk-knights in your hand, could Mind Control be very, very good to help extend your link play. So it's just an option I'm trying out. If you don't like this, obviously go straight into, of course, your Terraformings. We then play double Pot of Desires. If you don't like Pot of Desires, you can play Trading in this deck as well, because there are about 6 level 8 targets just in the mekk-knights alone that you run. So it does give you a couple of options to play with. I then also play double Invocation. Again, Invocation gets you into your fusion plays, not much more needs to be said about that. And then we play double Instant Fusion. Now Instant Fusion is very, very good in this deck because you play Thousand Eyes Restrict. You use Thousand Eyes Restrict effect to take one of your opponent's cards, one of your monsters, and then put it in one of those columns as an equipped spell, so that then allows you to kind of extend your plays a little bit more, and get more mekk-knights out of your hand. Obviously this might change a little bit when the new Millennium Ice comes out, because that is another nice Instant Fusion target, but as of now Thousand Eyes is the one. We then play the 1 Monster Reborn and the 1 Raigeki, because they're both busted as hell. After you've abused your opponent's board and got your mekk-knights on board, Raigeki clear their board, you're going in for game. And then because this is operationally a second turn deck, triple Evenly Matched, because there's nothing more better than opening up evenly matched, especially when your deck wants to go second, clearing your opponent's board and then trying to make your plays from there. Obviously it can hinder the mekk-knights as well because they've left their board, but you then get to use and abuse the one card that your opponent has left there to your advantage. Now onto the extra deck. We'll start off with the one and only XYZ that we play, and that is number 38, Hope, Harbinger, Dragon Titanic Galaxy. I just think it's the best rank 8 in the game. It's probably the one go-to card. Then onto the fusions, it is pretty straightforward. We've got the 1 Raijin, the 1 Purgatrio, it is your game winner. One Magnesia, obviously you get this quite easily as well, and it's just a very, very nice beater. And then we finish them off with 2 Invoked Mechba and the 1000 Eyes Restrict. Again, can be the new Millennium Eyes when it comes out, really down to personal preference or what one you want to choose. Now, going into the Link monsters, we play quite a lot of Link 2s because that's what you'll be going into most, and it helps get you your Alistair off board, especially with this bad boy, and that is Underclock Taker, one of the most underrated cards from Extreme Forces. It's a shame it was only a common, but as a common it does mean that loads of people have access to it, and it's a very, very nice generic Link 2. The other Link 2s we play are Proxy Dragon to help extend your board because you can flood it quite nicely, 1 Akashic Magician, and the 1 Misius Radiant, again down to personal preference if you want to play Misius Radiant or not, but under, or how many Misius Radiants you want to play, sorry, but under Scapegoat is pretty much a must play. Then for our Link 3s we play the 1 Decode Talker and the 1 Mekk-knight Spectrum Supreme. You don't have to play this card, it is just an option to choose. I just really, really like it. It's a nice looking card, and it's a nice Link 3 for Mekk-knights themselves. And then finally for our Link floors we play the 1 Borolo Dragon because it's incredibly powerful and easy to get into, and the exact same thing with Saruja Skuldred. Again, very, very nice to kind of unlock your hand a little bit as well, and of course give you a boost and the draw should you need it. So that is it. Very straightforward, very, very simple, and a very, very fun deck to play. It did used to abuse Grinder Golem, and just before the ban list you would probably put 3 Grinder Golem in here and then have the ability to extend your plays even further. But for now, this is kind of how it works, and it's a very, very fun deck. Like I said, they've done quite well in YCS, so pick these pieces up while you can, while they're relatively cheap. I think each of the secret Mekk-knights are about £8 to £10 each, but of course the core cards are going to start costing a bit more money, like your Evenly Matched and of course your Skull Eats and your Borolos. So grab what you can for now. It can be made a little bit cheaper and more pure, especially if you want to play the trade-in variant with Kaijus and of course your Grinder Golems. But it gives you a couple of options to play around with, and this is just a starter for you to kind of get a look at and see which way you want to go with it. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till Thursday, guys, when hopefully we'll have a box opening of the brand new Legendary Duelist set. See ya.